Welcome back to The Grind. In this video, we are going to talk about the Arcanum tier Mythic Invoker Lumastry. This is a Mythic Earth Invoker, and so ideally, this dragon would be able to replace Morak, which, by the way, even at 115 and 120 towers, depending on the gear and if they are using HP boost, if it's defended, Morak is still destroying bases for me, even though it's well above the tier. But that's besides the point. In this video, let's talk about Lumastry. Now, Lumastry is an invoker, so it has 3 regular shots, followed by a 4th invoke shot. The invoke shot is different for each invoker, but for Lumastry, that invoke shot is an empowered breath attack, dealing 120% of the dragon's modified HP as bonus damage. So you want to build up HP for this dragon, and that will allow you to deal more damage with your invoke shot. If any towers are destroyed by this ability, the dragon heals 10% of its modified HP per tower destroyed. So that suggests that the radius of this invoke shot will be big enough to at least hit 2 towers, and I hope that is the case. Similar to Morak's invoke shot that deals a bunch of damage and has a radius large enough to hit 2 to 3 towers. What's nice about this one is it also heals you if you destroy the tower, and it heals you for each tower destroyed. So that is a very nice addition, especially because, as we're going to see, you're likely to take some chip damage throughout the flight. The next spell that we're going to talk about is Clarity in Stillness. This is an active blue 1 rage spell that allows the dragon to cloak for 3 seconds and stop moving. While cloaked, the dragon can use its spells and breath attacks without uncloaking. While cloaked, the dragon has 100% increased rage generation, so this is awesome. You can do all your spells and ammo, you get extra rage, and you cannot be hit by towers. This lasts 3 seconds and then has a 3-second cooldown, so you're going to need something during that 3 second to help tide you over before you can use it again. The next spell is Weave Earth. This is an active white 2 rage spell, so it's a bit more expensive, but this is this invoker's reload spell. Similar to Morak's reload spell, it dodges all incoming attacks and projectiles for 1 second, and it reloads your ammo clip instantly. It also does a little bit of damage. 4% modified HP is damage to towers in range, but it has a 6-second cooldown, as you would expect for a spell as powerful as this. So you're going to need multiple spells on this dragon to avoid damage throughout the flight, just like Morak does. Now, this one is a great spell because you can come around the corner, use your preloaded invoke shot, and then use this immediately to dodge the incoming initial super shots that are placed, and have a full clip again to activate and use another invoke shot to destroy more towers, which will then lead into the full spell kit of this dragon. The last spell that this invoker has is Earthquake. This is basically a large freeze or stun, and I say like a freeze because it also stops midair projectiles. So any shots that have been fired when this spell hits the tower will be frozen mid-air, and it will keep the towers frozen or stunned for 2 seconds, but then it has a 5-second cooldown. It does only cost 1 rage, which is nice, but the problem is it's a red spell, so we have yet another dragon with a red and a blue spell, which definitely makes flying it more challenging, especially with defenders, but doesn't make it impossible. Now, this dragon has the makings for something great. It has a stronger invoke shot. It has a way to heal on destroying towers with the invoke shot. It has a way to gain back additional rage while using the blue spell with that 3-second duration, having 100% increased rage generation, so it kind of refunds a bit of that cost. It has a way to instantly reload its ammo and avoid damage or super shots, and it has a way to stun and freeze super shots that are mid-air, and allows you to kind of tide things over until you get those other spells accessed again. So when you think about it, this invoker's spell set is very similar to that of Morak. Now, there are some key differences which I think are going to significantly limit this dragon. The main one being that it has a blue and a red spell, and the rage costs, I'm not sure how it will all work out, but they might end up being a little too high. This dragon does have a little bit of an advantage over Morak in that the Earthquake spell actually stops midair projectiles and freezes them, whereas I'm equating this spell to Morak's Invincible Shield, because Morak has a blue cloak that also, I believe it actually gives back some rage. Morak also has that refill spell that dodges for 1 second, refills all the ammo. And then Morak has that Invincible Shield. It is white, but a shield can be broken and a shield can be disabled by Ice Flax. Now, if you have Earthquake that stops mid-air projectiles, you can stop a howitzer shot that is going to break your shield. You can stop an Ice Flax shot, even though the Ice Flax shoot really fast, and I think the Earthquake spell flies quite slowly unless they increase the fly speed. But this Earthquake spell can stop those shots from hitting you, and therefore, if it was Morak, you would have your shield broken or disabled, but in this situation, you don't have to worry about that because the shots are frozen. I would have to take another closer look at Morak to re-evaluate the cooldowns and durations of the spells, because they do fit together quite nicely. In fact, they barely fit together perfectly on a good run. And so Lumastry might not fit together quite as nicely depending on the base. The other thing, as I mentioned, that red mage could really mess the run up, especially if the base has, 2 blue mages and 2 red mages spread over the long island. You're going to have to take out all of those towers before you can move down the island. So, for example, if you come around the corner with your Invoke shot ready, you're going to first want to make sure you take out the blue mage. Now, if that blue mage is on the front of an island next to the shielding tower, then you're in luck because you can take both of those out with the 1 Invoke shot. After that, you have to refill and then attack the red mage. And then you can activate your blue spell with a slight delay after you use that second round of the ammo. That will give you enough time to get your ammo refilled during the cloak, at which point you can take out the Ice Flak or maybe the back island mage towers. And I say that because if you still have your Earthquake and you've already cleared the red mage from the front island, you might want to cast Earthquake on the front island towers rather than attacking them with your ammo. And instead, use your ammo on the back island towers, on 1 to 3 towers, say the red or blue mage. That way, you don't have to worry about it after your Earthquake wears off. And then by that point, hopefully your Weave Earth, the refill spell, has then come off or close to off cooldown, allowing you to use your ammo and a refill again, and then go back into Clarity and Stillness, the cloak. Now, let's say worst case scenario, all the high value targets that you need to take out are all spread out. So you have in all 4 corners a blue mage in one, a red mage in another, an Ice Flak in another, and a shield tower in another. So you cannot destroy 2 in 1. So what you would do first would be to use your first shot on the blue mage while you're turning the corner, then use your refill ammo and attack the shield tower. At that point, you would, with that slight delay, activate Clarity and Stillness, the cloak, and right before the cloak ends, you'll have enough ammo to then attack the red mage right before your cloak ends, and then you can cast Earthquake on the remaining towers, which is going to be perhaps a Fire Flak or Dark Flak, and then the Ice Flak, which is in the other corner. Being able to do this reassures me that this dragon will be very usable on short islands. However, this is a end tier dragon, so most of the players are going to have long bases and probably even 3 or more islands with full maxed out towers. Now, if you are very, very quick, as I've done with Morak in the past, you can actually fire an Invoke shot from the corner, use the refill spell while still on the corner, and very, very quickly fire all the refilled ammo plus the Invoke shot onto another tower before the shield activates and protects them. In that situation, you could take out the blue mage and the red mage in the quick go, or the blue mage and the Ice Flak, so you don't have to worry about that one later. So that will take a lot of practice and very quick timing, which I never fully mastered. I still had times where I would mess that up, but it is another possibility. So as far as entering into the Long Island, as I described, there is a very, it seems like, reasonable approach. What I am not confident about is what happens after that initial entrance. Will you have your spells off cooldown quick enough in order to keep yourself protected? Will you have destroyed enough towers so that you can take a couple hits and then heal it back up with future invoke shots? That is something that will take a little bit more time to see gameplay and to practice to see how that all ends up. But I do feel like this Invoker has some potential despite having both a red and a blue mage. Now, of course, if you have bases that they're putting 2 red mages on a front island and a blue mage, then this is going to really make it a lot more challenging. But in that situation, you're going to want to prioritize focusing on multiple tower hits with your invoke shot even more so. And I still think it would be possible to deal with. So personally, this might actually be the dragon that I am most excited about. And that might be because it's very close to Morak, which is probably still my all-time favorite dragon in the game. But let me know what your thoughts are on this dragon or the other dragons as well. What you think of the spell set. Do you think it will be able to work despite having both a red and a blue spell? Will you get this dragon, or what are your thoughts in general? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.